On today's show, the Dallas Mavericks fall to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Why? What happened? Who's to blame? Luka? Tim Hardaway Jr.? Jason Kidd? The refs? We'll find somebody on today's Locked On Mavs.
I'm Luka Doncic, and this is Locked On Mavericks podcast.
10 Mavericks, NBA champions. Bang! Bang! It's good, and the Mavericks have won the game.
If you don't believe, you shouldn't be here.
Loyalty never fades away.
And welcome. You are locked on to the Dallas Mavericks. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member and NBA channel manager for the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thanks for being part of the show, making Locked On Mavs your first listen today. With the best way you can help us grow the show is to listen every day, leave a 5-star review, like the video, and comment anything, oh boy, below. Let me know one reason why the Mavs lost to the Cavs in this one. Curious what you guys have to say about that. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook is the #1 sportsbook in America. New customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. $150 if your bet wins. Visit FanDuel.com to get started today. Joining me, the ref reject, the post-game prodigal. What you got for me? Slightly biased.
This is my last episode. This is the last basketball game I'll ever watch. So, this is my goodbye episode.
It's nice knowing you. It's nice knowing you.
Yep. Thanks for having me on, Nick. It was a great run.
It was a real good run.
This is it.
And with that, Max Strus just shot Slightly Biased his career out of the sky.
Going full pivot to politics now. Got plenty of time.
Big primary tonight.
Yep.
Big
got
primary.
Time
you know, we dive right into that, the ramifications. You know, so today we'll talk about Israel and Palestine. We'll talk about some of the Middle East conflict. We'll get into some of that. Brain chips put in your brain. Are you ready for the Neuralinks to happen? Elon Musk is making them happen. So we'll talk. No. Today we'll get into the Mavs loss to the Cavs. There's got to be blame somewhere. We'll talk about Luka and Kyrie. They were dealing in this game. We'll talk about how good they were. Some of the changes Jason Kidd has made. Some of the issues the Mavs have roster-wise that are starting to creep up here a little bit. But we got to start here. I mean, the ending of this game was insane. One of the most insane games. It's like Slightly is literally speechless, where he doesn't want to engage in this because it's
a soul-crushing loss. I mean, that is a Disney Channel movie. 999,000 times out of 100,000 the Mavericks walk out of that building with a win, and we just watched the one singular time where they don't. This is Doctor Strange with the Avengers, where he holds up the little one finger.
Yeah, it's like shaking, and Tony Stark looks at him and goes, "Damn it, I have to go die, don't I?"
Yeah,
which is exactly what happened. Exactly what happened to the Mavericks. Oh my God, let's just walk through the end of this, because to find who is to blame for a loss like this, you have to walk through how it happened, because the Mavs put themselves in a really good position. The Mavs, with 4 minutes and 38 seconds left, Maxi Kleber got an offensive rebound. PJ Washington kicked it back. Maxi hit a three. It was a 10-point game with 4 minutes and 38 seconds left. Mavs had a 10-point lead. That was their biggest lead of the game. Yeah. 10-point. And then all of a sudden, just stuff started happening. It was the wildest, weirdest, like wet, wild, wacky game that you could ever have imagined in this one. You had the inbound violation at 3 minutes and 40 seconds, where I still don't know exactly what happened. I've not seen a good enough replay or not seen a good enough clip where I figure out it was Tim and Kyrie, and then Kyrie was all of a sudden out of bounds, and then he was inbounds, and the refs called him an out of bounds violation, and it's wild.
Tim inbounded the ball to Kyrie, and then Kyrie walked out of bounds. They said on the broadcast it was the wrong call. I honestly don't know what the rule is. So,
if you want to listen to a show that won't complain about refs today, maybe just stop listening.
I mean, it was abysmal. I mean, like, we could talk about blame. The officiating in this game was atrociously bad. I mean, it just is. I'm sure Cavs fans are tuning in, because I would be too after a game like that. I just wanted to hear what you got to say. The officiating was incredibly bad down the stretch of that game. And again, Strus had a miracle Disney Channel shooting performance, including a Disney Channel shot at the end.
Literally his best 3-point shooting game of his career by percentage and volume.
Sometimes the universe just doesn't want you to win. Like, that's just it.
Oh, sorry. He had an 8 of 11 game. He was only 7 of 10 in this game. Second best. But it was insane. It was insane to watch this. And you know how you know that the calls at the end of a game were bad? when Mark Followell, like one of the most professional guys, he plays it down the middle, doesn't, plays up the fandom thing, but not too much and all that. He is going, what is that call? Right in the middle of the broadcast. And that is just not something you hear from Mark Followell very often. Friend of the show, been on several times, I've listened to him, forever, and so have all of you. But he just doesn't do that very often.
No.
You got with 3 minutes left, Strus had hit 3 threes in a row at that point. That was a wild sequence where the Mavs just couldn't stick with him. And if they did stick with him, then all of a sudden somebody was helping off of Donovan Mitchell. And you're like, what are you doing? How are we helping off of literally the 2 worst guys you could help off of?
Yeah.
At this point, you get the with a minute 30 left, you get Josh Green in the corner, attempts a corner 3. Darius Garland runs into him. And right in the middle of the transition opportunity on the other end, Luka is complaining to the ref, and the ref is telling him and explaining to him in mid-transition that Garland smacked his hand. And so they're calling it hand-to-hand, even though you can tell there's body contact there. No call there. You have a minute and 3 of the offensive foul on Kyrie, where Kyrie is driving right. And it seemed like his arm kind of hooked Strus. And so I don't know about that one. I wasn't as mad at that one. But it's just a weird call.
I'm surprised they did not challenge that. I'm actually shocked, because even if you lose it, so what?
Well, they needed it in this one, but
yeah.
So you have the offensive foul there. Luka and Josh Green get the steal, the dunk, ties the game. 45 seconds left to go. Donovan Mitchell then, with 30 seconds to go, banks in a 3. You want to talk about the one? This is the one out of 4,087 or whatever the odds are. Donovan Mitchell banks in a 3, and if you go back and watch the replay, Mavs highlights on Twitter, friend of the show as well, was posting a whole bunch of stuff and posted this clip where you can see Jared Allen push Josh Green into Donovan Mitchell mid-shot.
And before that, he 2-arm shoves literally 2-arm shoves Maxi Kleber out of the way. I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing? Can you guys fix the screen? It's the worst problem. If they want to fix scoring in the NBA, fix screens. They are so bad. It is such a blatant problem in the NBA.
Oh, they have with Derek Lively, right?
Yeah,
they've cleared it up with Derek Lively. So you had that play where Mitchell banks in the 3. It's now 115 to 118. And then you have Kyrie drives on LeVert. Great play. Kyrie was excellent. Gave them exactly the offense they needed exactly when they needed it. We'll talk about him a little bit later in that. And then you have the Derek Jones Jr. pokes the ball away. Before that, and 10 seconds left, you have the play where the Mavs everyone thinks that they're going to intentionally foul. And you're like, okay, you're only down 1. Are you going to intentionally foul here and then hopefully they miss one, or you have to hit a 3 or whatever. Josh Green and Darius Garland end up on the ground. And you're like, you got to call something here. You got to call a travel. You got to call a foul. You got to call something in this moment. And instead, what did it end? It ended up being
timeout.
Just a timeout by the Cavs. And so they were awarded a timeout, which is just a weird thing. He fell down with the ball. I don't know. I remember that being a travel back in my day. 8 seconds left. Mobley is inbounding the ball, which is an interesting choice by JB Bickerstaff to have Mobley inbound the ball. Derek Jones Jr. pokes the ball away, goes off of Darius Garland's foot, and the Mavs get the ball back. And all of a sudden, you're like, okay, they're back. They're alive. They have this shot. You've got Luka and Kyrie. They've been dealing. 8 seconds to go. And you get the play that you wanted, a play that you wanted. Luka had Tim Hardaway Jr. in the corner, and to all Mavs Twitters, excitement, he doesn't pass to Tim. He kicks it up to PJ Washington, who puts the ball in it, and Jared Allen has the contact, and you're like, okay, that should have been a foul. It was not a foul. That wasn't either. And then you go, oh man, PJ Washington just hit the game-winning shot, the go-ahead game winner. 2 seconds left. Max Strus gets the ball. It's inbounded, literally a 42-foot shot to win. The second longest game-winning buzzer beater in the 3-point era.
I mean, what can you even say, man? The universe did not want the Mavericks to win tonight. I don't know what happened, but that is what happened.
Coming up, screw the universe. Who gets the most blame? Let's actually talk about it. Actually, who gets it? Let's talk about that and more coming up. Today's episode is brought to you by Betterhelp. Now, I have been told to stick to the copy with Betterhelp. Although, you may be if you're listening to this, I'll make it as vague as possible. If you are in a position where you're listening to this podcast then you may need BetterHelp today because of the situation in your life that we all may have just witnessed together. But honestly, BetterHelp has helped me in the past. I've used BetterHelp. I go to therapy still. It's something that I desperately need in life because I need to talk things through. I need to talk about what's happening in my life, work through some issues. Sometimes I just need to talk something out loud to somebody that is in my corner, but also like unbiased in the same way. I don't need somebody slightly biased. I need them unbiased when they listen to me and when I talk about some of my issues, because I don't need somebody just to feed me what I want to hear. Therapy can be different for everyone. Most of us have bigger problems than our favorite sports teams, and it's important to get the things off your chest every once in a while. If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. Visit betterhelp.com/LockedOnNBA to get 10% off your first month. Again, betterhelp.com/HELP. No, BetterHelp, HELP. That's betterhelp.com/LockedOnNBA. Today's episode also brought to you by Stitch Fix. Stitch Fix is awesome. I love it. I love that they send you stuff straight to you. They have, they get you set up with a stylist to send you the clothes that'll make you feel good. Everyone knows that you get instant confidence from a fit that just works for you. It's working for you. It's working for the room. It's working for everybody. And you know that you give your stylist your size, style, budget, all that kind of stuff, and they order boxes and you get what you want. And if you don't like it, you can send it back and all that stuff is free. The returns, the exchanges, always free. Even if you don't love it, even if it fits right and it's fine. It's like, this color isn't exactly what I thought. The stylist always sends just the right pieces. The fit is on point, and it's like they have this like different way to figure out exactly what your style is. So go check it out. StitchFix.com. Style that makes you feel as good as you look. Get started today. StitchFix.com/LockedOn. That's StitchFix.com/LockedOn. StitchFix.com/LockedOn.
Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is, huh? Anybody?
Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs, being part of the show, part of the Raccoon Squad, listening every day. Appreciate each and every one of you for sticking with us. Got Slightly here on the post-game show, as always. The Mavs lose this game, 121-119 to the Cavs. We talked about the refs earlier. Egregious calls. The last 2-minute report is going to be insane. It's going to make you cry. It's going to be bad tomorrow. I've already made the joke of the refs having the sleepless nights for the LeBron Jason Tatum foul call, that tweet that happened earlier in the year, but it's gonna be tough. Do the refs deserve the most blame for this though? The Mavs did have a 10-point lead with 4.5 minutes to go.
It's not the answer you're going to want, but it's the universe, maybe magnets in the rim. I genuinely don't know what to say.
Get those magnets wet and then they won't work anymore.
If I don't know what you say for the coaching staff in the locker room. The good news for the Mavericks is they have a game tomorrow night. Usually you wouldn't say that about a back-to-back, but it's actually a good thing that this team could go out tomorrow night, hopefully get a win, and we can move on because they played well enough on the road against a very, very good Cleveland team to walk out with a win. And again, it was a Disney Channel moment. That's all there is to it. If the Cavs fans are here and they're going to say coping or seething, whatever, but that's just true. This is a miracle performance that we just witnessed.
Strus' second best shooting game of all time in his entire career. He goes 7 of 10 and you can say, well, Jason Kidd had Tim Hardaway out there. Yeah, Tim Hardaway was guarding Strus on some of those, and Tim Hardaway wasn't fighting through screens as hard as he should have. It's not something that he's particularly good at in his career. You could put some blame there. I don't know that just changing Derrick Jones Jr. for Tim Hardaway Jr. would have completely changed it either, because that's your other option. He decided to go offense-defense substitutions at the end of the game, and he went Derrick Jones Jr. at the end, and then he poked the ball away. So maybe that was what they were supposed to do. But the other thing is, I'm seeing a lot of comments about why Maxey and Tim Hardaway play so much. What happened to Lively? Why did they not go to Gafford at all? The whole reason why the Mavs offense woke up in general, the Mavs offense was awful for a quarter and a half. For a quarter and a half, the Mavericks had 40 points. Yeah. It was just awful. They couldn't get anything going. 24 points in the first quarter and then 17 through the first, 3 quarters of the second quarter.
Yeah.
And as soon as you put Maxey and Tim Hardaway in there and you got some spacing, it wasn't even about what they produce. It's about the space that they create. It's about geometry on the floor at that point. You play Gafford, you play Lively. It's not the same geometry. You're just not working with the same angles. And so I get why they had to play. Maxey had some really good plays late. He only has 4 points, but he had that. He had the three that put them up. That was a huge play at the end there. The offensive rebound that led to that. He had some good defensive play, really good defensive plays as well. For some of those guys, they're not going to produce Like, they're not going to score 10 points, 15 points all the time.
Yeah, no, this wasn't a Gafford game. I mean, it just wasn't. And one of the reasons why you make that trade is because you just give yourself the versatility and you have options now. There's going to be games where it's not the Gafford game. There's going to be games where it is the Gafford game. Like, that's it. You didn't, like, I keep seeing people that, they traded a first-round pick for Gafford and he only played 7 minutes. Well, there's going to be games where Gafford plays 24 minutes and has, 12 rebounds and 3 blocks, and it's going to look great. But
Thunder game, he was awesome, right? That's exactly. That's a game you play him in.
Yeah,
this one is not necessarily.
Right, and I mean, like you said, they needed the spacing. The offense was really bad. The Cavs were playing some great defense. You got to tip your cap to them.
They're a great defensive team.
Yeah, I mean, they're a great team. That's what I'm saying. This is soul crushing because you go on the road and play well enough to win. I guess a great team.
At tip-off, Mavs were a 4-point underdog in this game,
Yeah.
so they were not expected to win. So if you take that as you will, the Cavs are a really good team. They were healthy too. Cavs had everybody basically, and everybody played. They got nothing from Garland really, except for 7 assists, which is kind of wild.
Yeah,
but Donovan Mitchell was really good. Max Strus was scorching, like, insane. Donovan Mitchell 7 of 11 from 3 too. Like, I mean, that's even insane.
Right, and
you're used to it from him. You're not so with Max Strus.
And that's the reason why Gafford didn't play much again, is because a big reason why they got so hot from 3 early in the game was they were in this like deep drop on these high screens from Jared Allen, and Donovan Mitchell was just walking into wide open threes, and that's just not. The Mavericks defense played so much better, and even you look at the box score, they gave up 38 points in the fourth quarter. Again, we can't emphasize enough the just insane shooting performance that happened. I think I saw somebody say that last 21 points for the Cavs were 7 threes, where they went 7 of 7 on 3.
Strus went 5 of 5 from 3. They were all in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, and then you had Donovan Mitchell threes. So
Mitchell went 2 of 2. Literally, yeah. They went 7 of 9 from 3, and it was 2 guys.
And I think they made their last 7, and it was 21 their last 21 points. I mean, that's
because Mitchell banked in the 3, and then there was another Mitchell 3. Oh, Dallas helped off him. That capped off their 15-3 run that gave them.
Because they didn't want Strus to shoot the 3, so they help off Donovan Mitchell. So that was just I thought, like, it's a little deceiving that they gave up 38 points in that quarter. You might think their defense.
This whole loss is deceiving.
I know, but it sucks because like I was saying, why it's so soul crushing. You can't afford losses.
No.
So you can't be like, hey guys, moral victory, you played well. But then at the same time, it is like, hey guys, you know what? You play like that, you're going to win a lot of games. Like, you're just going to win a lot of games moving forward if you play the way you played tonight. And we like, they were down. How much were they down by at one point in this game early on? 14, 16, 15 points was the biggest lead for the Cavs.
Yeah, 15.
It felt kind of helpless. Like, they were just red hot from 3. The Mavs offense was struggling so badly. Then Luka had an MVP performance, which unfortunately is for naught, because maybe
it shines more of a light on him that this, like, if the Mavs just win this game, maybe it doesn't get as much attention as if they lose on a
this is going to be the Strus shot, and that's what this game will be.
But then maybe some voters will go back and watch this game and be like, you know what, Luka was actually really, really good in this game. Maybe
I mean, he was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Copium. That was my copium. I took the here. Hold on. Took the whole shot of it right in the arm.
You sometimes you just need as much copium as possible, especially after a game like that.
I gotta shoot it up. Give me a credit card. Maybe I need it. Hold on.
But I mean, okay, if we want to be constructive, oh god. If we want to be like actually constructive, I'm like, my brain is mumbled. Like, it's just Nick's having a relapse on the. I'm trying to right the ship here as best as I can.
This game was so insane. I just can't get over the ending of this game.
If I were a neutral fan, I would leave saying, "Wow, that was just
insane."
Yeah, that was awesome. That's why you watch the NBA. As a Mavs fan, I'm saying this is why I'm never watching the NBA again. It's over.
Well, you don't have to watch the NBA. You just have to keep listening to Locked On Mavs, basically.
Yeah, I'm not
keep you connected.
Nick, but I'm not going to watch, and I'm going to come on the show. But I'm like, yeah, Kyrie had a great shot.
Yeah, you know what I think was really cool about this game was that Daniel Gafford had 12 rebounds.
Yeah.
Slightly. Are you just reading the box score? Like,
oh, come on, Gafford, 7 minutes. That's horrible. Kid's terrible.
Hey, sometimes that's a whole show.
Yeah, that's true.
Coming up, let's talk about Luka, Kyrie. They were both excellent. Let's talk about how they were good, how the Mavs kept in this game and fought back. I don't know. Maybe the copium will kick in by then we'll talk about that and more coming up.
Yeah.
Today's episode is brought to you by eBay Motors. eBay Motors knows that your car needs to have the parts that fit exactly right. like a defense that plays exactly the way it's supposed to and contests threes exactly how they're supposed to. Passion, drive, and patience. What brings home the winning trophy is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle. I was listening to Locked On Pelicans earlier today. Jake Madison, I have hung out with him at his house. He's got this car he's putting together. He gets all his parts from eBay Motors. He needs a part, he calls it up, gets delivered straight to his house. He doesn't have to go anywhere. He loves it. So if you want to be like Jake, and you should be, Jake is awesome. They have over 122 million different parts to choose from for your number one ride or die. And with the eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit with your ride every time or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers. All right, Slightly. I can just hear you like furiously texting, furiously typing something on your phone. I am getting this tweet off. Dang it.
There's a text. I have friends who are just.
Was it to James Williams? Were you sending a text to him?
Yeah, I wish.
Slightly put all the money on the Cavs money line and was just sending him a thank you text.
I wish I did that. I need to start doing that. Just that way after games, if they lose, I'm just like, yeah, well, I'm going to Europe.
Oh my gosh. Luka Doncic in this game, amazing. Absolutely insane. 45 points, 9 boards, 14 assists, 1 rebound away from a really good game, 3 steals, 1 turnover in this game. And it was like the dumbest, worst turnover ever. He passed the ball like right into Isaac Okoro in transition. It was like really weird in this one. But Luka was insane and kept them connected. And the end of that second quarter was like an MVP stretch where you're like, nobody else can do this except for the best player in the world.
Yeah, I mean, if Strus doesn't hit that 3, this is a MVP stamp-in moment for Luka that I'm sure most national places would talk about the next day. I mean, that pass to PJ was perfect, too.
Yes.
I mean, that was really bad defense. Right? That was a terrible gamble by the Cavaliers. I have no clue what they were thinking on that last play defensively. I just can't believe I'm sorry. I cannot believe they won the game. There's just
they were thinking, don't worry, James Williams will bail us out.
Yeah, they're like, don't worry, guys, trust me.
James Williams, Carl Lane,
all figured out.
Matt Khalil, they'll bail us out.
The magnets are on. Strus, just throw it up. It'll go in. Trust me.
Follow and Harp were even commenting on the Mavs rim on the other side and how it was like it wasn't working. So they had the magnets turned, like the pulses were turned the opposite way, the polarization.
There's people who really believe that.
The magnets on the rim?
Yeah, there's people who actually believe that.
That's why the Mavs rim mic is so loud, is that they opted out of the magnet.
No, Luka was phenomenal in this game. I mean, there's like almost next to nothing negative you can say about him.
What if the NBA had a director of magnets?
Yeah, they're like, all right, guys, so what are we doing tonight? Are we sure? Like, that's going to be one of the craziest innings in NBA history. They're like, no, send it in.
I just imagine that guy like has a meeting like on the court and be like, guy, this isn't going to, they'll work.
Yeah, trust us.
Trust me. I know magnets. I'm the director of magnets.
Can't the Mavericks have something nice? No.
Yeah, right.
They can't. It's over for them.
How big are the Warriors magnets? Like,
yeah, I know. Well, the moving screens again. If you want to fit, actually, I'm being dead serious. If you want to fix scoring, like getting moving screens out of the game would help tremendously. But anyway,
it would. Luka was insane.
I don't think he had I don't think there's much to nitpick because I thought he played pretty well defensively too. So
the only thing,
the tech,
he was asking. He was like almost. It felt like he was begging for that tech. Like he was just going off on these refs and like. I don't know. It feels like diminishing returns on the Luka complaining to the refs. It just doesn't come back and help them at all.
No, I agree because I saw people say that was a soft tech, yelling and bleeping one. They'll tee that up. I've seen that get teed up in other games, and like you said,
and
go
ahead.
No, like you were probably about to say, it was like led up to that. It wasn't like it was a one-time thing. It was a thing. It was like a thing that was building. I would like to see everyone can see it. Everyone can see when it's starting to go down that path because we're now 2 techs away from a suspension.
He's got 13.
Okay.
You get 16, right?
So 3 away from a suspension, and we can't afford to have him suspended.
No.
Unless you play
us on the podcast or the team themselves.
Right. Nick and I cannot afford it, man.
You and I.
Rent is due soon, and when Luka doesn't play, trust us, it doesn't do well.
That YouTube check is coming in. Hold on. While I still have it.
All right, yeah. This is the last episode of this podcast.
Locked On Mavs canceled drug use.
But no, I mean,
do I have to check when you upload? If you've ever uploaded to YouTube, they have this whole section where it's like ad suitability, where it's like you have to click certain things. Like if I say too many curse words, I have to click a certain thing so it's not suitable. Do you think I have to click the drug use one?
I think it has to be on screen.
Okay, it was all off screen, guys.
Okay, yeah, all off screen, but he did do it though.
Does it help that I did it with a Disney gift card?
Wow, that's pretty hardcore. I feel like that's something a real druggie would do.
Oh my god, I cannot believe they lost this game.
Yeah.
This makes no sense. It's basically been the whole point of this episode. I just cannot believe that they lost this game.
Because they played. I mean, there were some things that you could nitpick here and there. The defense had some moments, and maybe some rotation stuff from Kidd, but they played really well down the stretch of this game. PJ Washington was great tonight defensively. He was a plus 17. My God, I'm just now seeing that.
If you listened to Locked On Mavs yesterday, you know that Jason Kidd listens to the show because I was calling for get PJ Washington as the roller in pick and roll, and they ran it 2 times in a row in the fourth quarter, right before they went on the run to get the lead back. Actually, his and one finish against Mobley, and then Tim Hardaway Jr.'s offensive rebounded jumper off the free throw was what got them the lead. But they ran 2 plays in a row where PJ Washington was the roller, and he got 2 floaters out of it. One of them was the N1, and like that kind of got him going a little bit.
And I do wonder too, if the Mavs won on Sunday, do we look at this game heartbreak and all and say, you know what, that's completely fine? Like,
no,
you don't think so?
No, look at what just happened in this game.
No. I'm saying remove like the insane ending, because right now it's like the sky is falling. Mavs fans like, here we go, 2 straight losses. The
sky has fallen.
The sky, yeah.
Adele has finished her song. The sky has fallen.
I mean, I feel bad for Luka. 45 points. He was genuinely incredible. Kyrie was incredible in the second half. Again, you did a lot of great things, and it sucks to not walk out with a win. That's just really the bottom line.
I got a question. Yeah, I did some like mailbag type questions yesterday, and one of them was, why is everyone so doom and gloom after each loss? And I was like, because they matter so much right now. The Mavs could have, if the Pelicans had lost tonight, which I think they're going to win against the Knicks, but if they could have moved up to 5th in this, and now they're what? They're a game and a half, 2.5 games ahead of the Warriors for 9th right now.
Yeah,
that gap is closing.
They play them 3 times, I think. So, another thing too, why it's been so doom and gloom. I talked about this on my stream earlier today. Was like last season was so bad. So there is like that PTSD feeling where it's like every loss is like, here we go, like here it comes. There's just, and then you're like, well, they're 6.5 out of the 11 seed. It's like it's not impossible that they fall into that. So I get that part.
Just for my mental health, I need to make sure they don't play the Hornets anymore.
They do. They have to, right? They only played them once, haven't they?
Oh, they play the Hornets April 9th.
This is a different team now. I'm sorry. This was like this. All right. So let's say PJ Washington doesn't make that shot, right? And they just lose normally.
They just lose. Yeah.
I think we come on, we're like, yeah, that's a tough loss. They did this, and wrong. But then you say they did a lot of good things, and they played it was a really good game, and the Cavs, are a really good team, and Strus got red hot.
There.
But that shot is like, what did they do wrong? Is this karma for tanking? Is that really what it is?
I think it was the ref calls too that really just put me over the edge. Just put me over the top on this one.
Yeah, the officiating was just so cool down the stretch, I feel like.
Mavs play the Raptors tomorrow or today. If you're listening to this on Wednesday, Slightly and I will have the post game for that as well. We'll see what happens with that one. And then the next couple of games, Boston, Philly, Indiana, Miami.
That's tough.
3 out of 4 national TV games. The Philly one is like 12 p.m. on a Sunday, which is
weird.
A weird one too. And so this is a stretch coming up here where the Mavericks they're going to be tested, and I'm excited to see how they respond to it.
Yeah, I'm interested tomorrow. That's not an easy. You might look at the 22 and 36 for the Raptors. That's not how they've been playing lately. They've won 3 straight. Their offense has been really good. Was that before the stream you said, or the episode you said Jakob Poeltl might be out tomorrow?
Yeah, Poeltl might be out.
Okay, because that's huge. Because they're actually above 500 since the trades when Jakob plays. So, but this will be interesting. If they come out tomorrow and take care of business, then I think that's a really good sign that this team is up for facing adversity, which they even faced in this game during the game. And if they come out and lose tomorrow, well, then I'm worried that this game tonight might be one of those you look back on and are like, man, that was just like a soul-crushing moment.
If you are a glutton for punishment, I'm probably still going to do a watch back for the Subtext subscribers, where I watch back the fourth quarter because I would like to see what happened in the fourth quarter. Subscribe to Subtext. You get text straight to your phone. I'll send the video straight to you. I'll send a link to you. Guys, thanks so much for listening to Locked on Mavs.
Peace out.
Boom.